Because Kathy Engelbert and Adam Silver, it seems to be nothing to see here. Please move along. Now, I've seen a lot of fans just come out and say, hey, they're assaulting her, it's battery, yada, yada, yada.
The Wall Street Journal just lit the WNBA on fire. And if what they're saying is true, this isn't just bad PR. This is federal case territory.
It's about the fact that Caitlin Clark has basically done for the WNBA what Michael Jordan did for the NBA, right? Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Miss Clark, treating its greatest asset.
The headline said Caitlin Clark's treatment in the WNBA might not just be unfair, it might be illegal.
From the Wall Street Journal. Now, keep in mind, the Wall Street Journal has a readership of people that consume the Wall Street Journal across all political lines, okay? And the Wall Street Journal in this article is calling, or at least saying out loud, that maybe Caitlin Clark's civil rights are actually...
The opinion piece, written by Sean McLean, doesn't tiptoe around the issue. It lays it out. The WNBA has allowed a hostile work environment for its biggest star. Not in a that's sports kind of way, in a you're violating federal civil rights law kind of way. And here's the part that makes lawyers perk up. They're pointing to specific statutes and court precedents. This isn't some angry fan blog. This is the Wall Street Journal laying out a legal roadmap for how Clark could sue the league and win. The numbers? They're brutal for the league. Clark has taken 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA, double the league average. That's not coincidence. That's statistical gold for a discrimination claim. And it's not just fans saying it. Sophie Cunningham flat out told reporters, the star player of the league is not being protected. Even players who go up against Clark are calling out the double standard. Clark herself, she's kept it measured. Everybody is physical with me. They get away with things others don't. She's not crying conspiracy. She's calmly describing exactly the kind of unequal enforcement the Wall Street Journal says could get the feds involved. Then comes the race angle, and it's not coming from fans. Aja Wilson herself has said race plays a factor in how Clark is treated. Under civil rights law, you don't need an explicit racial slur for that to matter. If there's a pattern of disparate treatment that appears connected to race, the feds can investigate. The article also drags in comments from Mystics owner Sheila Johnson, who publicly downplayed Clark's Athlete of the Year win. Dick Vitale called it pure jealousy. But in court, that could be framed as evidence of league-wide hostility from ownership. The Olympic snub, that's another piece of the puzzle. Leave your most popular player and one of your top performers off the roster after months of targeted hits, and you start looking at retaliation patterns. And if you think this is just sports media chatter, think again. Senator Jim Banks has already sent a formal letter to Commissioner Kathy Engelbert demanding answers about Clark's treatment. The WSJ says Congress should hold hearings. Picture Engelbert and Adam Silver grilled on live TV about why their biggest star is treated like a tackling dummy. It doesn't stop there. The WSJ floats Labor Department workplace safety reviews, which fall under federal jurisdiction. If they decide the WNBA failed to provide a safe environment, that's a legal hammer blow. And if the DOJ's Civil Rights Division steps in, that's a full-scale federal discrimination probe. The nuclear option? Congress yanking the WNBA's antitrust protections. Without those, the league would be forced to operate under normal competition laws. A fundamental shift that could blow up its entire business model. Here's the kicker. We have real-time proof of how Clark's presence changes the game. Since she's been out, the Fever are winning more, and the physicality has noticeably dropped. It's like watching a controlled experiment in how much extra contact she takes. Not one player has been suspended for a flagrant on Clark, despite the documented pattern. The Marina Mabrey hit? That wasn't basketball. That was a blindside shot that could have ended her season. In any other workplace, that's assault. In the WNBA, play on. The Dejanai Carrington eye poke from last year, same story. Dangerous, targeted, and ignored. The WSJ even says she's one flagrant away from a career-ending injury. And this isn't just theory. In discrimination cases, lawyers love comparators, examples showing the same conduct punished differently based on who the victim is. Clark's case is full of them. What makes this story so explosive is that it's coming from a mainstream business outlet. The WSJ isn't in the habit of running sports conspiracy pieces. When they publish legal analysis with case citations and suggestions for federal intervention, it means the story has crossed over into politics, law, and economics. They even suggest subpoenaing the league's internal emails. And anyone who's followed major discrimination cases knows that's where you find the smoking guns. The WSJ draws a parallel to Title IX enforcement, where the government warned over 60 schools about gender discrimination in athletics. Imagine that level of scrutiny, but on a pro league in front of the whole country. And remember, the antitrust angle is political dynamite. Special legal status is a privilege, not a right. If Congress decides Clark's treatment shows the WNBA can't be trusted with that privilege, those protections could vanish overnight. The timing is brutal for the league. We can all see the officiating difference when Clark plays versus when she doesn't. That's contemporaneous evidence, gold in legal proceedings. The WSJ's conclusion: this could get very ugly very fast. Civil rights investigations, congressional hearings, discrimination lawsuits involving the face of the league. The WNBA isn't just risking bad press, it's risking its future. And the numbers don't lie. When Clark plays, fans watch. When she doesn't, they don't. She moves merchandise. She drives app engagement. She's turned casual viewers into die-hard fans. That's exactly why the league's failure to protect her makes no business sense. Unless there's another motive. The most ominous part? The WSJ suggests investigating the league's internal communications. If emails exist showing bias or strategy to manage Clark's popularity, that could be devastating in court and in Congress. This isn't just a sports story anymore. This is a legal, political, and economic crisis playing out in real time. And it's happening to the player who single-handedly brought the WNBA into mainstream conversation. The Wall Street Journal just took what fans have been screaming about all season and turned it into a potential federal case. The WNBA should be terrified because civil rights violations aren't just bad headlines. They're existential threats. What happens next? We could see DOJ letters, congressional subpoenas, sponsors pulling out. Or the league could finally wake up and start protecting its biggest star before it's too late. Drop your thoughts below, because if this blows up the way it could, the WNBA we know today might not exist a year from now.